There you are.
Hi, everybody.
Hillary.
It's been a while since we've been on together on Doctors in Demand. Welcome back. And Kara and I love it when we both put on our shades of green.
Just randomly, it's like we're psychically connected on the colors of shirts. We both had on wild, crazy orange shirts one day out of nowhere. I own one orange shirt. I don't know how many you own, but it's funny how that.
More than you. I'm a fall. So I'm trying to buy more orange. Lord knows I wear enough army green for the most of us, but you're wearing it now. Mine's like a little different color. At one point, every like promo picture that Kara and I had for Cultivate Fertility or anything, I was wearing this army green shirt in every photo shoot, in every video. I was like, okay, I think it's time for me to maybe get a different color. They were different shirts, but it was all the same color.
It's a great color. I thought it was fun because we were together last week and we were wearing the continuous glucose monitors, both of us.
I still have mine on.
You still have yours on. I just also want to say that Hillary is like this, really brave person who can move to different countries with her family and like lose. I don't know. At one point, like one of your children got bit by a turtle in Morocco and you didn't freak out. Do you know what I mean? Like you've had life experiences that are, would scare a lot of people, this and that. But nothing scares you more than the funny medical things, like when you got your ears pierced when we were in New York a few months ago and you got totally terrified. And putting in this continuous glucose monitor was surprisingly like nerve-wracking for Hillary. And it's nothing. It's like a little filament or whatever, and you just pop it in. And I just put it in to somebody who works at my office with me. And people get nervous because it looks like this big chunky plastic thing and you just put it on. But at the end, it's this thin disc with not even a needle. It's a little filament that goes into your skin. So it always like cracks me up when I don't expect it from people. But that thing, you just pop it on, it goes in, you don't even notice it. So that's what's like the first main point of this. It's not like a real needle. It doesn't hurt. You don't even feel it. So that's unbelievable to me. I thought I was going to, be in bed and I was trying to figure out like, if I'm a side sleeper, where should I put this thing? But you don't notice it, right? Isn't that weird?
I kind of noticed it the first day, like I had awareness because it was new and whatever, the alarm went off at night. And today we're talking about things that we learned from wearing our continuous glucose monitors, which was really interesting, and things that we learned when we were together wearing our continuous glucose monitors. So Dr. Kara and I have really different bodies and very different hormone systems and different metabolisms. So it's so fascinating, like if we eat the same way, or if we work out the same way, or if we're under the same stresses, which was kind of like last week, we were doing the same thing. And we had a very, very fun in-person event last Sunday with a bunch of beautiful women. And Kara and I are giving birth to lots of in-person events next year. So
yes,
look out for those. We're going to be doing, she's on her phone. She must be getting like a text or something. But Kara's daughter ran off with her computer this morning, which is just freaking hilarious. Like the things our teenage kids do to us. My teenage daughter was like, I forgot my running shoes at my dad's house, which was like a long ways away. Like, can you run and grab my running shoes? I was like, hey, Kara, something's going on with your volume.
Oh no.
You're good. Just
Hell, I don't hear you.
No, you can't hear me?
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So there's a couple things I really want to talk about while she's sorting out her phone about the continuous glucose monitors. One is if you've watched this and you've heard me talk before, I have something called PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's not impacting my fertility anymore, but it is a metabolic syndrome that makes me more set up for blood sugar regulation issues and metabolic issues. So I was kind of surprised that my blood sugars were higher than I had expected. And I went in to use it to see, okay, what are some of my trigger foods? What happens if I don't sleep well? What happens if I'm under stress? And I learned some really interesting things. And a couple things I learned things that I've been sharing with my patients for years that were like truisms for me and my patients, like around blood sugar, because blood sugar used to be something that was much more conceptual, that we would say, you have to stabilize your blood sugar. You do that with protein and fat. You do that by eating every 3 hours or so. And some bodies need to do that. So Kara needs to do that more than me. But what I learned about my body is my body actually has a more steady blood sugar. She's back. My body has a more stable blood sugar if I'm not eating every 3 hours. Like the days I'm working from home, it was super fascinating to see. Mm-hmm. My in-office days, I have a much more set structure around eating. I'm at my office. I don't have access to food. My at-home working days, it's me and my fridge. I'm just like staring at my fridge. I'm looking at my fridge. I'm like, ooh, maybe I'm hungry again. Ooh, I'll have a tea. Oh, I'll have a this. I'm constantly like feeding myself all day. That was not good for my blood sugar.
Yeah.
At all. But the days when Kara and I were working and like we went out to lunch in Sausalito and we got a really big salad with meat and salad, or we ate here and we got takeout from down the street and it was like a lamb skewer with like a big salad. Those are the days that were by far the best blood sugar. And there was no snacking in between. So that to me was like, whoa, have I potentially been telling my patients the wrong thing?
Right.
The other thing, right? Like, because I've been telling my patients, well, stabilize it every few hours by eating. And I do think some bodies need that. Like you need it a little bit more than me. But for my body, for sure, the bigger meals was the thing. For my body, exercise, cardiovascular exercise, or some sort of major exercise is crucial for me to bring my blood sugar down.
Well, and it was cool to see in the app, they were prompting us after the meals to go on a walk, which stabilizes the blood sugar, brings the blood sugar down, allows it not to spike so much. So that was interesting to see too, is that they're onto it into the app, like they're real big thing.
The reason why we care, just so you guys know, like the reason why I care is one, we're using it with patients. So we want to know a lot, the ins and outs. But the reason why I care is because my mother is having memory complications. Her mother had dementia. My grandmother on the other side had dementia. My mother's brother just died from Alzheimer's. And I have genes on my genetic test. I've got genes that predispose me to having dementia. And dementia our brain is massively impacted by hyperglycemia, by having high blood sugar. And so I was sort of thinking, okay, I'm just going to get info. It was really interesting. And this was like, no, this is actually an issue. It's not like you're just like, oh, playing along. Like this is an issue for me and my health. Like, so I will be using it repeatedly as a tool.
Or stress was an interesting thing to learn about too, because I don't think I'm walking around stressed at all. I don't even notice it. And then it asks you, like your blood sugar spiking, tell me what's going on. And it was like, once I was thirsty, once I was just dealing with a complicated situation that doesn't make me feel stressed. Like I can't handle it. It's more like I had to do this call and that call and this follow-up and this thing. And those things actually rose my blood sugar up. And the impact of stress on my glucose going high, it was really striking because it was like so obvious when I would see that, because my blood sugar wasn't necessarily going so high, but every time it did go high, there was some real reason for it. It wasn't necessarily, when I was testing different foods to see, can I get it to, what's my problem here? Can I get it to raise with, if I eat sugar? Yes, it's going to rise up. But I thought that was really, truly important to note, because I think we're all used to these lives we live where we're trying to do 5 things at once, and we have too many things we're involved in, and we're not saying no enough, like as women, we just don't say no enough. I really think that's true. And making sure that you set up your life where you have time to do things for yourself was really a good lesson for me in looking at how my blood sugar was responding. And then I think the food was really interesting, because what I find as really valuable is that I won't eat those things. I'm not as likely to eat the things that were not good for me. I really am not. And my problem wasn't the spike as much as that if I eat the sugar or the thing that my body doesn't like, then I would be waking up in the night because I hit lows very easily. So it was the low number for me that was the problem, not the high number. I would have like 3 highs and like 12 lows over a few days.
And mine was the opposite. So, I kind of never went as low as I expected mine to be. And what the truth is when you wear a continuous glucose monitor, your glucose levels, and we teach a class about this because it's complex to try to understand and interpret it. Your glucose levels do read higher than like they would on a fasting blood draw at the lab. So you got to get a little bit adjusted to seeing things a little higher than you would see. But what you're looking for is like what creates more of the toxic rises, what creates more for, in many people, the lows, what drives and keeps things more stable, what helps you stay stable. There are foods that I told my patients for years, like, oh yeah, okay, if you eat an apple, eat it with almond butter because that will help stabilize your blood sugar. That wasn't enough for me. Like an apple with almond butter still would get more of a blood sugar rise than in my mind I thought I was teaching patients about.
Mm-hmm.
Like
But
I need
really individual too.
Yeah,
that does work for me.
So for me, it didn't. And this is why it's like such individualized, personalized medicine when you're wearing a device that gives direct feedback. For me, what was your most toxic food was when you ate a bunch of your favorite fake M&Ms, right? Or like organic M&Ms, right?
Yeah, I did. I ate the Unreals. That was right when I put it on because I like to kind of prep it that I was at work when I put this thing on this show with you all. And I do remember kind of staring down at it like, am I going to do this? Is this going to be okay? But you don't even notice it going in, honestly. But I had my morning smoothie that I do, which is really high in fat and protein. I use our protein powder. It has a multi in there. I put fruit and vegetable in there. And I do that typically when I go to
And you put hemp seeds, chia seeds.
I do. I didn't put chia that day. I did hemp. I had hemp, our protein powder, which has fiber and a multi. Raspberries. I'm a big lover of raspberries. Spinach was in there. Something else was in there. But that was my smoothie. And I do like a lot. So I think it was 20 to 25 grams of protein in there. But and I did walnut milk in that smoothie. Anyway, I did that. And then my lunch was, a salad and some chicken and nuts and seeds and olives and all the stuff I love. Pepperoncinis was like all the stuff. So kind of spiced it up. It was delicious. And so nothing happened. My blood sugar was just like so steady because I eat how I know I need to eat. Right. So then I wanted to kind of mess with it. So I ate an ice cream sandwich. And nothing happened. I mean, I was just trying to see, like, how high does my blood sugar go?
Impervious to eating. Like the ice cream is great food for Kara.
It's not good to know, but I think it's not great food for me. It's not. Nobody should be eating a lot of ice cream and ice cream. Every once in a while, fine, but it was weird because then that didn't even cause me a spike, which it really should have because it had a lot of sugar in it. And I was like, what is going on? So then I ate the Unreals. And I ate more than I normally would. I would have like a few, and that's delicious. But then I just kept eating them to be like, I have to get this thing to go up. And my blood sugar spiked really high. And then I kept waking up all night. And the next day wasn't so stable. So here's my point, though. That ice cream sandwich didn't touch me at all because I eat well. Like it was the first day I wore it. And I had my regular smoothie for breakfast, which is big. Like I have a big smoothie. It's not some little smoothie, a lot. And tons of calories, really good. And my salad and heavy protein lunch that I love, love, love. And I was eating really well and I had for days before. So wearing this thing also made the point to me that if I go off, it's really what I do the day before and the day before that's determining my blood
like
glucose.
Sleep, right?
Yes, the all-night flight I did, and there's never any food I can eat in any airport, so I was starving, and all of that messed up my blood glucose for sure. And so it was a little unstable for a few days there until I got back to the way I normally eat. So it's very nice to reinforce what you think you know about your foods. and test it, because banana doesn't bother me at all in my smoothie, whereas Hillary is not good for. So it's
Oh my God, if I eat
Mhm.
banana, it was like banana to me, I may as well just eat a bag of potato chips. Like it is literally like, I
Yes.
mean,
Well,
for blood sugar, not for other
yeah.
things. But
And there's the truth for us, right? The corn chips and the potato chips and the white bread, those things just universally might be bad for everybody because those things rose
oh,
our
I'm
blood
trying to
glucose.
like
Yeah.
share my screen so I can share, but I don't know how to do that. Do you?
No.
Oh,
Well,
I'm here. It's right here. Look.
oh, you have it?
Let's see. Let me see. Yeah.
You have to get Evelyn, maybe remove me so Hillary's screen can be bigger.
No, I think I can.
Trying to
Let's just give it a go. Let's see. Oh yeah, here I am. Okay, I'm glad it's me and not somebody else. But I wanted to show this. Oh wait, I needed to do. Okay, so this is the app that we're using where we're getting so much information and we get to see our patients' reports. Not that we're spying so closely on you, but it does really help us. But I wanted to see. Can you see my screen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It looks so, it's
This
nice. The colors actually match the background. It's gorgeous.
this right here, this spike up to 200, which is like, nowhere near where my blood sugar should ever be. That was Thai food. And I had pre-partied with corn chips. I remember my son and I were watching the game. He had chips. I was just not, I picked up maybe 6 or 7 corn chips without guacamole because I didn't want to get full because we were going for Thai food. And this was the corn chips. So corn chips spiked me to almost, way higher of a level than I ever wanted to be. And then the Thai food just it was outrageous. And those are the kinds of things that now when I go, I'm never going to pre-party with corn chips before any meal. Okay, what is that? That is a disaster strategy for me and my blood sugar. And not my beloved nachos are likely out, or I have to figure out a different way to do it. Or I need to eat a ton of fiber before and really eat beans. Like I think the way, if I make nachos, it has to be more like in a salad bowl and I use a couple maybe, but we think probably corn I'm allergic to it. Look at me trying to justify all
need to say, you just need to stop right here because you're going to test the cassava chips, but I think that your food sensitivity test is going to say that you react to corn and you probably need to avoid corn in everything, because every time I was with you and you had any kind of corn, anything, the sugar was like, woo, woo. So,
and I crave it, right? Like
yeah,
it was like, I was like walking by my, corn chips aren't good for anybody, whether they're all pressed, it's seed oils, like it's crap.
What we give animals to make them fat. We feed them corn so that they can weigh more and that you get more meat and more fat, I guess. It's not good.
That was a big learning for me. And then Thai food in my mind I know that there's a lot of sugar in Thai food, but
a lot of sugar in the sauce.
I didn't expect, because I was eating green curry and yeah, I definitely ate a noodle dish, but I ate a lot of like beef and curry and vegetables. It didn't matter. It must have been just so much more sugar than
cane sugar too, right? We found a difference between cane sugar and like honey and maple syrup too. So we have to and you just showed you in the beginning, that was like your first week or whatever. After about 2 weeks, everybody's is just so nice and flattened out. And so it's worth it. But these things are for diabetics. They were made for diabetics. So the alarms and everything are set for people who may be taking medication. And it's really important for them to maintain a tight range, right? You don't want someone going low who's diabetic. So we're using these for health purposes as preventative medicine and really to give us some information for ourselves. So when you first put it on, it looked scary. Like yours looked a little scary, right? It was going up.
I was literally like, I'm prescribing I'm getting on metformin. Like
I know.
Right away. I can't, and, but it's interesting. I'm playing with it. So the next round I'm taking some product that we use a lot for metabolism. And I'm going to be more mindful about using some digestive, like the next go around, I'm using intervention so that I'm getting information for our patients and trying. It's like, and I'm definitely going to try with metformin as well and just see what is the difference. How is it for me? That's kind of the fun, is getting to learn, because for me, I do not want dementia.
And you have PCOS, so you already have this insulin set. Like, your situation is different from some other people's situation. But if I took the things you're going to take, I would be going low so much. I would lose concentration. I would be getting dizzy. I wouldn't have any endurance for my workouts. Like, it would be really bad for me. So the interventions we're going to share are not for everybody. They're for people who tend toward higher blood sugar. All right, we're going to pop off.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.